I think if you're thinking about joining an Eden team, I think it's really important to know that you're called. It's really important to know that it's not like a glamorous thing. It's not like a higher calling in that respect. It doesn't make you any more a Christian. God doesn't love you anymore just because you're on Eden or any of that kind of stuff. There's actually quite a lot of monotony to being on Eden because you're just literally living your life. But I love what Paul says when he says, we're not just sharing the gospel, but we're sharing our very lives, and that's very much what it is. A lot of what people need in places like this is just somebody who's just going to be around, who's going to love them and get alongside them, and when they're having a rubbish day, that they're there for them. And so if you're the kind of person that has that longevity, and if you're the kind of person who has that kind of real heart of faithfulness, I think, so it's just, I can't think of anything better to be spent on than just getting alongside people who need just a bit of loving.
I think if you want to learn about the character of God and you want to know how big God is and that he cares so much for people, then come and do it, because you just see all that and you learn that. And if you want anything to build your faith, then come on here and pray that God gets kids saved and his kingdom comes, and then see it happen, and you just stand back and go, God is just amazing and we could not do it otherwise. And that's the biggest thing I've learned, is that God does move mountains, that faith does work, and salvation is really life-changing.
If you love people, if you love serving God on the front line, if you're really willing to invest your life, however much of it is God's calling to do, into a community, to be with people every day, no matter what time of night or day, and to be able to call it home, then come and do it, because it's fantastic and you'll love it.
If you're somebody that's sitting there burning, saying, how do I serve God best? Come. This is your opportunity. This is something that you've got a world of opportunity to do that. There might be some difficult times, but there's difficult times wherever you are. Yeah, and there's challenges wherever you are. But here you've just got an opportunity to really know that you're building God's kingdom, in a place that really needs it. And that feeling of usefulness is just fantastic.
I think if you're thinking about coming on Eden and joining an Eden team, you just need to really know that God's called you. One of the important things for me was to have a God book, and I wrote down the things that God had said to me about coming up here, so that, and years later I could look back and say, this is why God has called me here, and this is the stuff that for me personally, the promises I'm carrying. I think that's really important.
I think probably the important thing is to not see it as like a project, and I know it's always, the title is always the Eden Project, but actually it's not a project, it is a way of life, and it's about moving into a community and, getting to know your neighbours and getting involved in what goes on in their lives and in the community too.
One of the important things about Eden is that you're here for the long haul. It's not just a year out thing. And so I think the important thing would be to come with an attitude of, I'm here until God calls me on.